lawyers on behalf of President Donald Trump sent a letter Wednesday night to former White House chief strategist Stephen Bannon demanding he refrain from making disparaging comments against the president and his family.
The letter comes after excerpts from a forthcoming book by journalist Michael Wolff were made public Wednesday, causing a stir. Trump attorney Charles J. Harder of the firm Harder Meirell and Abrams LLP, said in a statement, "This law firm represents President Donald J. Trump and Donald J. Trump for President Incorporated on behalf of our clients." Legal notice was issued today to Stephen K.
In the letter to Bannon, Harder writes, "You, Bannon, have breached the agreement by, among other things, communicating with author Michael Wolff about Mr. Trump, his family members, and the company, disclosing confidential information." During the campaign, then-candidate Trump had all campaign staff sign a non-disclosure agreement which required all staff, according to campaign sources, to refrain from any disparaging comments against the candidate, his family or the Trump campaign and organization. In the letter, Trump's attorney writes, "Remedies for your breach of the agreement include but are not limited to monetary damages, injunctive relief and all other remedies available at Law and Equity, although no dollar amount is disclosed." The letter then cites parts of paragraph 8 of the agreement, consent to injunction.
A breach of any of your promises or agreements under this agreement will cause the company, Mr. Trump and each other Trump person irreparable harm.
Accordingly, to the extent permitted by law, and without waiving any other rights or remedies against you at law or in equity, you hereby consent to the entry of any order.
Towards the end of the letter, Harder writes further, "As the prevailing party in any litigation arising out of your breach of the agreement, Mr. Trump and the company will be entitled to an award of reasonable legal fees and costs."
Earlier Wednesday, Trump hit back at Bannon in scathing comments, saying that when Bannon was fired he not only lost his job, he lost his mind.
President Trump's comments, which came in the form of a written statement from the White House, were in response to Bannon's strident criticism of Donald Trump Jr.
Steve Bannon has nothing to do with me or my presidency.
When he was fired, he not only lost his job, he lost his mind.
Steve was a staffer who worked for me after I had already won the nomination by defeating 17 candidates, often described as the most talented field ever assembled in the Republican Party, the president said in a statement.
Now that he is on his own, Steve is learning that winning isn't as easy as I make it look.
Steve had very little to do with our historic victory, which was delivered by the forgotten men and women of this country.
Yet Steve had everything to do with the loss of a Senate seat in Alabama held for more than 30 years by Republicans.
Steve doesn't represent my base, he is only in it for himself.
Bannon responded to that statement on Breitbart News' SiriusXM show on Wednesday, telling a listener who called in, "The President of the United States is a great man.
You know I support him, day in and day out, whether going through the country giving the Trump miracle speech or on the show or on the website.